Today, we're talking about financial leverage and why it's so important to get you to your financial dreams. So, financial leverage is the buzzword, and I'm sure you've heard it all the time. But what is it, and why don't most people in our culture rock with it? Well, it's because it involves a word that we don't like too much: debt. Those are two things that our community really does not rock with: debt and hard drugs. And that's because most people have had somebody in their family, mom, dad, uncle, distant cousin, get hooked on it, and we've seen it ruin lives. So we tend to stay away from that. But stay with me and I'll show you how it can be useful. Let's take two examples: stocks and real estate. So in the first example, we have $100,000 of stocks. We have $100,000 worth of real estate. Now, if you bought the stocks, there's no financial leverage, so you're going to pay $100,000 for those stocks. If you buy the $100,000 worth of real estate, you're going to have a leverage of in between 80 and 97%. We'll go with the 80%. With the $100,000 worth of real estate, you put in $20,000 for $100,000 worth of real estate. Now, in both examples, they go up 50%, right? With the stocks, you made $50,000 on your $100,000. But with the real estate, since you use leverage, you made $50,000, not with the $100,000 because that all didn't come out of pocket. You made $50,000 with the $20,000 that you spent, right? So leverage can get you wealthier faster. The next example is with real estate. One is an investment property, which you're usually required to put 20% down, and the other is owner occupied, which is 3 to 5% down, $20,000 down. The other, you have to put $3,000 down, excluding closing costs. Now that's a big difference. But in Seattle and New York and LA and these more expensive places, it's a huge difference. You're talking about on a house, for instance, $100,000. 20% is $140,000, where 3% is $21,000. Again, excluding closing costs. For a lot of people, using that leverage makes home ownership and investment attainable. With 20% down, it gets really hard. And that's why when purchasing property, I always tell people, for most people, owner occupied and then moving out is the best way because you get to use so much leverage. Even if you have the 20% down, I still tell people don't do that because you're going to run out of money and then you're going to be stuck in that house or stuck in that investment and you can't do it again the next year. So on this page, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so leverage isn't just all sunshines and rainbows. There's a thing called over leverage, and that's what happened in 2008 so bringing the example back up, investment property and the owner occupied house, if those prices decrease by 10%, well, the person who put 20% down, they can still sell and come out with some of their money back. But the owner occupied, now they can't sell. And if they do sell, they'll have to do what's called a short sell. So you can be over leveraged. And when you're over leveraged, it works a lot like instead of a seesaw, it works like a catapult and it can fling you. So always make sure you're not just using leverage willy-nilly. You never want to be over leveraged. And there are different ways to do that. If you want to have a conversation about how much leverage you should use in your specific situation, drop a comment below or DM me.